Hi, Parker.
Hello.
So this week we are learning a new concept, remaining ending blends. You already know the sounds for these letters. And when they live next to each other, sometimes the sounds become blended together, and that's why we call them blends. Okay, so I'm going to show you our new cards. We're going to say the letters and then the sound, okay? MP says mp. Repeat.
MP says mp.
NCH says nch. Repeat.
NCH says nch.
ND says nd. Repeat.
ND says nd.
SK says sk. Repeat.
SK says sk.
Good job. SP says sp. Repeat.
SC says sp.
Good job. Excellent. So these are the new cards for this week. And I want to show you an object. So do we know what this is?
A Band-Aid.
A Band-Aid. So if we think about the word band, what does that end in? What blend does that end in?
ND.
ND, yeah. Bend, right? Band. So I have our brainstorming sheet, okay? And we actually have Band-Aid under the ND blends. Let's look at our MP blend. Actually, you can hold that too. Let's look at our MP blends. Can you read those two words?
Jump and ramp.
Nice job. And the ending blend is
Mp.
MP. How about this one?
Lunch and hunch.
The ending blend is
Nch.
nch. Good job. How about these ones?
Sand and band.
Ending blend is
Nd.
nice job. How about this one?
Ask and tisk.
Yep. Ending blend is
Sk.
good job. Last one. What are these two words?
Fast and lisp.
Good job. And the ending blend is sp. Good job. Can you think of any other words that we could add? So we have jump, lamp. What do you think?
Maybe.
So what's helpful too is when we have these ending blends, we can think of words that rhyme. So words that rhyme with jump, lamp.
Jump, lamp, ramp.
Ramp, yeah, why don't you write that word down? Yep, you can use the highlighter. That's great. Good job. How about nch? We have lunch, hunch,
Munch.
munch. Good job. Excellent. And ND, we have sand, band.
Band. Tan.
So tan, but it doesn't end in D.
Oh.
So we could say bland, right? The food was
Yeah.
bland. And how about ask? We have ask, tisk. So it would end in that.
Oh. Okay.
How about a teacher might ask you to complete a
Oh.
task? Yep, task. Good job. And then we have SP, we have gasp, lisp. Can you think of any words that end in sp? Gasp. This one's tricky.
I can't think of any.
That's okay.
Hard.
So when it comes time to read our story for the week, I bet you'll hear some ending SP ones. Okay? All right. So we'll put that to the side. Let's grab your whiteboard, marker, tissue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say some sounds and you are going to practice writing them. Okay? So the first sound is mp. So I want you to practice all known spellings on your whiteboard. Mp. Excellent job. Let's do nch, nch. Good job. Nd. Excellent. Sk. Now you know more than one way to write sk. So SK and S. Good job. SK and SC. Sp. Excellent. Excellent. Nch. Good job. Nd. Sk. Good job. 2 ways. Excellent. Sp. Excellent. Last round. Mb. Nch. Nd. Sk. Good job. SK, SC. Sp. Excellent job. All right, you can erase that. Nice work. Right, so let's get our book ready for this week. What we're gonna read. Okay, so it's not audio, but it is online. So let's grab this. Okay, so let's see. Try to move this here. So the book that we're going to be reading is called The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And I think you said you've read this before, right? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So, ooh, do you see any blends in that title? Any ending blends?
Oh, hand.
Yeah, ND. Nice job. Okay, so here we go. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried, "I don't want to go to school. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please may I stay home with you." Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. "Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do," she said to him gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start." Oh, you're writing down the blends you hear. That's amazing. "You will make new friends and play with new toys, read new books and swing on the swings. Besides, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home." Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret?" "A very old secret. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand." "The kissing hand? What's that?" "I'll show you." Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon said, "Now, anytime you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, 'Mommy loves you, Mommy loves you.' And that very kiss will jump," that's an ending blend, "will jump to your face and fill you with toasty warm thoughts." She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. "Now, do be careful not to lose it, but don't worry. When you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick." Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him whenever he went to school. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mom and grinned. "Give me your hand," he said to her. Chester took his mom's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. "Now you have a kissing hand too." And with a gentle goodbye and "I love you," Chester turned and danced away. Oh my gosh, what a great story. So I saw you writing down some blends, which I think is great. So can you read the blending words that you found?
Hand and jump.
Yeah, awesome. So we have the ND ending blend and the MP ending blend. Good job. Okay, so you can erase your board and put your board away. All right, we have one more book that we're gonna read. We're gonna do our decodable for the week, okay? Oh, do you have your highlighter?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So the title of this book is Fun at the Pond, okay? And these are our ending blends. So we have a bunch of red words that we already know, and we have 3 vocabulary words. Can you read those words?
Brisk, hotch, and windmill.
Good job. So what I'm going to have you do as we read, I want you to highlight the words that have our new concept. So the ending blends, like SK, NCH, okay? And I also want you to highlight the red words, okay? So these are our red words. So actually, why don't we go through now and maybe read them and highlight them before we start. So can you read and highlight your red words?
A.
Yep.
Bolt. Day. Down. Down. For. Have. His. Into. Is. Of. Out. Put. Said. Saw. See. Some. The. There. They. Want. They too want. Was you.
Good, so those are our red words. And let's highlight and read our new vocabulary words.
Brisk, hunch, and windmill.
Excellent, good job. So I don't think we'll finish this all today. We'll finish it up tomorrow. But let's start. So it's fun at the pond. And we already went through our red words and we highlighted them, and our vocab words and we highlighted those. So let's see if we can start reading here. Okay.
Levi and Sam went to camp at the pond. They put up the tent.
Good job. Do you see any vocab words there? Or ending, or any ending blend words? I see a couple.
Pond.
It has that ND blend. Good job. What about in that second sentence? Yep. Tent. Excellent. Do we see any red words? Good job. Went to. Good job.
It was a grand day to go to the pond. So Levi and Sam went to the pond for a swim.
Good job. All right. Any vocabulary words in there? Oh, so we have pond. Yep, so that's the ending blend, ND. And. See any more?
No.
How about grand?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Grand. And how about your red words? Let's highlight our red words. Good job. We have was, to. Excellent. Good job.
They got into the pond. Levi said, "Do you see that frog?" They both saw the frog. The frog had to hop fast to get out of the pond. Out of the pond, yeah. Levi and Sam had to jump out of the pond and they ran to the tent.
Okay, do we see any vocab words there? Nice job. We're seeing those, a lot of ponds, right? Those are the ending, the ND end blend. How about your red words? Yep, jump, good job. Good job, excellent. Over here.
I have a hunch that Levi will want lunch, said to himself. Sam went to his lunchbox. He had a muffin and a cup of milk for both of them. Levi had a gulp of milk and a fresh muffin.
So I see one of the vocab words that yep, there you go, hunch, right? That has that NCH blend, hunch. See a word that rhymes with hunch too, right in that sentence. Do you see it?
Lunch.
Lunch.
What about gulp?
Gulp, yep. That LP blend, yep.
Would beer blend?
Which one?
Would fresh?
So that's an SH blend. So yeah, it's a blend, but just not for here. So why don't you highlight your red words?
Oh, there's a lot of red.
There's a lot of red words there. Yep.
Will want said went to get his, had a, and Lucy's. For both of them had both of a and there. That's a whole bunch of red.
Good job. So why don't we pause here and we will finish this up tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, so let's now take out, you have your highlighter, right? So here's your phoneme grapheme chart.
Wow.
And here's mine, and we're gonna highlight the words, not the words, the sounds that we just learned. So we just learned the rest of our ending blends. So let's highlight NP, MP, NCH, NCH, ND, ND, SK, SK, SP, SP.
There.
All right, awesome. So you can put that to the side. And I'm going to place our cards back in the review deck so we can review those as we keep going. Okay. Do you have a pencil? Let's grab a pencil.
Okay.
All right, so you can put your name on that. Now we're going to do our word dictation. I'm going to be reading you some words that have our blends, and then we'll do some sentences, okay? All right, so the first word is bump. So let me use it in a sentence. So bump. There was a bump in the road and my car wiggled a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna state the word while pounding. Bump, bump. So I want you to state the word while pounding. So, bump. So state the word, bump. Use your offhand, yep, bump. So keep that M and P as one sound. Okay, let's try it again. So I'm gonna do it and then you do it, okay? So the word is bump. Bump. B, ump, bump. Now you try.
Bump.
B, b, ump. Okay. Bump.
Bump.
Okay.
Do I write it down?
Yep, so write the word. And notice that they're on the same line because even though it's two letters, it's one sound. Okay? So B-U-M-P, good, you can rewrite. So again, I'm gonna read the word, use it in a sentence. I'll model pounding it out and finger tapping, and then you'll do the same, okay?
Okay.
All right, our next word is dusk. In the morning, right before the sun comes up, you might still feel like it's dusk outside, okay? So, dusk. Oh, let me use my other hand. Dusk. D-U-S-K. Dusk. Okay, now I want you to state the word while pounding.
Dusk.
D-U-S-K. Good. Dusk. Good, now you can write it. Nice job. Okay, let's check. That's good. You can rewrite. Okay, our next word is branch. There was a branch that fell down off of the tree after the storm. Branch. 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 Okay, now you try.
Branch.
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 Good. Just keep those blends together. Good job. Yeah, let's just try that one more time. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping the sounds together. And this is hard. So watch me and then you'll do. The word is branch. 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 Now you try.
Branch. Branch.
Good job. Excellent. Alrighty. Our next, oh, yep, that looks good. You can rewrite. Okay, our next word is pretend. I like to pretend that it is almost summer vacation very soon. Okay, pretend. Pretend. This one's hard. Pound it.
Pretend.
And. Pretend. Try it one more time on your own.
Pretend.
Good job. Pretend. Yep. You just always want to try to make sure that we keep those sounds together. I know it's hard. Okay, so let's see. So so this is what it should look like, okay? So we want to do. All right, does yours look like mine? So you want to read. That's okay. So you want to just rewrite it so it looks like mine. All right. And our last word is windmill. There used to be a windmill in Hull, but then they took it down. Windmill. W-I-N-D-M-I-L. Windmill. Okay, now you try.
Windmill. What? In.
So woo.
Woo.
I. N. M. I. Oh.
It's a long word.
Try it one more time on your own.
Windmill. What? Woo. I. N. D. M. L.
So you just want to keep those sounds separate, okay? Nice job. So you can rewrite. No, yeah. And then we have the nd. Okay. Okay, does yours look like mine? Almost.
There's 2 L's.
Yep, 2 L's. So you can rewrite it with the 2 L's. Nice job. Okay, so now let's read the words to practice our fluency. So let's go from top to bottom.
Bump, dusk, branch, pretend, windmill.
Nice job. Let's go from bottom to top.
Windmill, pretend, branch, dusk, bump.
Nice job. Let's mix it up.
Pretend, dusk, windmill, branch, bump.
Nice job. Okay, very good. So let's put this to the side. And now we are going to do some sentences. Okay. All right, you want to put your name on that? Alrighty. Alrighty, so I am going to state the sentence, okay, and then I'll pound out the syllables using my offhand, and then we'll pound the syllables in the sentence together, okay? Alright, so you can put your pencil down, make sure you're using your offhand. A frog can hop and land in the sand. So I'm gonna pound out the syllables. A frog can hop and land in the sand. Okay, now let's do it together. A frog can hop and land in the sand. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay. A frog, so a frog can hop and land in the sand. Good job, excellent. All right, now can you do it on your own without help from me? So the sentence is, a frog can hop and land in the sand. So pound each syllable.
A frog can hop and land
and land.
And land in the sand.
Good job. Okay, so now let's look at our lines here. So I'm gonna say the sentence again, and I'm gonna point to each line, okay? A frog can hop and land in the sand. Okay, now I want you to do it. So point.
A frog can hop and land in the sand.
Good job. So let's write that sentence. A frog can hop and land in the sand. All right, let's check cups. So do we have a capital letter at the start of our sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Good job. So you can check off the C. Let's read it to see if it makes sense. A frog can hop and land in the sand. Makes sense to me. We can do, yep. Do we have a punctuation mark? We do. And now let's check our spelling. A frog can hop and land in the sand. Perfect. So it's spelled correctly. So now let's rewrite and then we'll check cups one more time. Okay, let's check. A frog can hop and land in the sand. Do we have capitalization? Yeah. Does it make sense? Punctuation mark? And spelling? Looks good. Okay. Our next sentence So again, I'm gonna state the sentence, I'm gonna pound it with my offhand, and then we'll pound the syllables together, okay? Our next sentence, Tad was fond of his pet cat. So I'm gonna pound out the syllables, okay? Tad was fond of his pet cat. Let's do it together. Tad was fond of his pet cat. So I saw a couple extra syllable pounds there, okay? So just the syllables. Tad was fond of his pet cat. One more time. Tad was fond of his pet cat. On your own.
Tad
Tad.
Tad was fond of his pet cat.
Excellent. Okay, so now let's look at our lines here. Okay. Tad was fond of his pet cat. Now you try. Point to each line.
Tad was fond of his pet cat.
Good job. So now you can write the sentence. Tad was fond of his pet cat.
Okay. I see. I see. Okay.
Okay, so let's check for cups. Do we have a capital letter at the start of our sentence?
We sure do.
We do. I saw that you even corrected it before, which was great. Understand, Tad was fond of his pet cat. That makes sense to me. Do we have punctuation at the end of our
It's very
sentence?
small, but we do.
Yep, you got it. And let's check spelling. So, is that an N right there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So everything is spelled correctly. So now you can rewrite. Good job. Okay, so let's check cups again. Do we have a capital letter at the start of our sentence? Tad was fond of his pet cat. It makes sense to me. We can check that off. Period at the end. And spelling looks good. Excellent. Okay, so to practice our fluency, let's read the sentences, okay? Can you read this sentence?
A frog can hop and land in the sand.
Good job. This one?
Tad
Tad. Yep.
was fond of his pet cat.
Good job. This one more time?
Tad was fond of his pet cat.
Awesome. Okay, so this was our new concept for this week, the remaining L blends in our phoneme grapheme chart. Nice job.
Thank you.